And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in the Farthest Frontier. This is the fifth part of the first stream on 1.0. Um, we've mostly recovered from the mistakes in the last part. Let's see if we can avoid making some more while trying to make the country a little bit better. Okay, so it looks like we're about to get the foundry. So we'll actually be able to start converting our iron into... I forgot I need coal. I need to get a coal mine going. Where is our coal deposits? Here's a coal deposit. And then that's the bottomless one. Okay, so we obviously want to use the one that's not bottomless to start with. Because we're actually not deep enough in the deck for you to use the bottomless one yet. So you... Okay. And then the other thing is the blacksmith forge itself. Three more villagers born. So if we get that set up, that'll provide us the coal that we need to operate this. And then that'll start converting our iron ore into iron ingots. The iron ingots we have uses for, such as in the blacksmith, we'll be using it for making tools and stuff. You'd buy some baskets. We'll sell you 14 baskets. And you would sell me goats. I could afford to buy 2 goats. So we'll buy... So that's going to be 662. Most of our money, but that should be enough to get 2 goats. So we can actually get some goats going. Ah, I hadn't accounted for the gold going to the construction site. How short am I? If I move the rest of the baskets, let's sell another 10 baskets. That should give me enough money that I can get the 2 goats. Both fruit sellers are full of food already. I need to build another fruit seller already. Oh, that's not quite enough to buy the goats. I may not be able to buy these goats, given the circumstances. 70 villagers graduated. Granted, it says 70 villagers graduated. I think we're up to 70 graduated villagers, not 70 just graduated. And I'm pretty sure I need 2 goats for goats to be self-reproducing. Don't think it's appropriate to have 1 goat somehow making more goats. Yeah, no, we're not getting the goats in time. Okay. New villager immigrated, 3 new villagers born. We've got trees designated, so while we're low on wood, it's a we are waiting for it to be harvested issue. We're also low on stone, but that's also we're waiting for it to be harvested issue. Okay. Okay, so iron is being produced. There's definitely stuff we'd like to do with the iron, just as iron. Like, we'd like to upgrade the wells at some point for more desirability. The child has grown up, providing us with more workforce. So this is probably going to be the last part of labor counts. That's kind of the status quo, to be fair. This is probably going to be the last part of the stream for the night. We're going to run this out to like 30-ish minutes. And we're obviously going to keep. We're gonna pick this up again in another stream. If you're watching this on YouTube, the next stream probably will have been prior to this part going live. In fact, it should have probably been prior to the previous part going live. Assuming I can get the part uploaded or the first part uploaded and released by 3 p.m. tomorrow my time, which if you're watching this on YouTube should be well in your past. Crops lost to drought. Okay, so there's a drought hitting. That's not really a concern. We're getting less beans, which isn't a problem when we have no place to put the beans. We literally have no place to put the beans. We have iron because we have the ability to expand our hunter cabin, upgrade our hunter cabins. Which in some ways is tempting to do. The upgraded ones can do trapping. Granted, I think the traps cost iron, so we need a pretty hefty supply of iron for that to make sense. Which we don't quite have. We're not being told we can upgrade the wells just because the wells cost stone. And we've got a stone shortage. Whereas I think the hunters just cost iron and wood. Oh, and iron planks and money. We currently have the money. Although that's not what I want to be spending the iron and money on. Oh, and the wells cost money as well, so... At least the wells are going to provide desirability, though. 5 new villagers are born. Okay, so we want to build some more housing. So right now we're waiting for the stone to get the blacksmith going, so we can do the blacksmith, make heavy tools and tools, and I think even weapons. Like this makes weapons. Yeah, makes weapons. So with that, we might actually be worth the next time we want to go fight the bandits to send in some swordsmen with proper weapons. Where does the improvised weapons come from? I assume you can build the improvised weapons before you can build the normal weapons. Knowledge generated. Okay, so we've got another knowledge point we can spend. So we can unlock the armory, which will allow us to build shields and better armor and stuff. But I don't think we got the equipment really to support the armory. A bunch of fortification stuff. Although most of that isn't... we don't really have a problem if they get to the fortifications. It's them getting to anything that isn't the fortifications. It's kind of the problem. Paper mill. Upgrade the market. Tree growth hasn't been a problem yet. Yeah, let's do that so we can get the disease resistance next. So there we can get 30% disease resistance. Not that diseases have been a problem with our crop rotation very much. Okay, so that's under construction. So that's going to take more of our laborers away, which is kind of the opposite of what that recommendation was telling us to do, but it'll be fine. Okay. Well, that requires bricks. There we go. So now we've got a blacksmith going. We're going to set some limits on these. We don't want more than 25 swords. So those start piling up. That's the status quo. Heavy tools are going to be pretty similar. We don't need more than 5 kicking around. And then actual tools. If we got more than 50 actual tools sitting around, stop making tools. And at that point, I just need to be increasing the rate that we're making coal and the rate that we're making iron. Iron ore, and then the iron bars, and all that slaw. 4 new villagers are born, 1 migrated. So the migrated one at least provides us with another worker fit to work. Complaints about the villagers needing more tools. Yeah, that's society. Let's get another root cellar going, so we got another place to store food. I need to move you to the next one. Granted, there's no one in you, so it doesn't do anything right now, but in the future, you'll need to be on the next one. Well, it would have been fine placed there, but didn't think that's the better placing. Predators are attacking, and are probably mostly harmless, because they're probably being... yeah, they're in the hunting ranges. Beginning of year 16? I think I still got plenty of trees assigned to be chopped. And we got trees over there, we got trees over here. Trees down there. I think the trees in the median here, yeah, those are just decorative. Those aren't harvestable. So there's also an argument to start mining the gold here. Because the foundry, in theory, processes gold as well. That would produces a decent amount of money. Your 3 new villagers being born. And as is the case, more than half the town, in fact, 100 out of 180 people we basically have are unable to work because they're still children and or infants. Half the town's educated. Oh no, half the working force is educated, I think. Might be half the town. Although that makes the percentage that has tools to be really high if that's of the full town and not the adults that actually do work. Travelers arrived. We don't really have anything... oh, actually, no, I got soap. I can still use soap. And we could get crude weapons, but at this point we're making weapons. Yeah, let's tee up the soap to be sold. So, 36 units of soap. And I can't sell them weapons. I was thinking, oh, I can sell them weapons and buy iron to make more weapons, but no, they're selling both the iron and the weapons. And it's 8 iron to 1 weapon is what that's implying. Okay, so if you had the coal, that's probably worth doing. Although only barely, and maybe not worth your workers' time. Got complaints that our village is low on builders. It's probably better to be low on builders than low on laborers, and we're low on both. By the game decisions of what is low and high. And that was one of the reasons I upgraded that well, is I was recognizing that well was going to provide enough desirability to get quite a few buildings to level up. Everything went according to plan. "84 villages are graduated." I don't think that's actually how many are graduated. I think that's now how many are educated. Because that would track with the 59% are educated. New traveling merchant has arrived. I could sell you some shoes. Oh, and we have the soap there ready to sell, so the soap sold. You're buying tools, which is kind of the opposite of what we want to do. Because we're so low on tools, I'll buy some tools. Don't think this is a particularly great trade. We'll shove the rest in the trading in the town storage. Rest of the money in the town storage. Villagers stricken with a fractured bone. Yeah, we don't got a good solution to that. And 3 more children. A new traveling merchants. We got a 3rd one this year. Actually, we are rich enough in theory to buy those goats. So let's try to buy the goats. That's 634 for the trading post. Oops, no, not that one. We wanted to buy goats. 2 goats. Buy and stock. No, don't delete the trading post. Yes, we want to assign them there. Being told the villagers need more tools. Yes, game. I understand the villagers do need more tools. Our has tools ratio is rising. We're up to 40%. So we've got the 20 homesteads, we got the school, we got the trading post. We're just short the 200 people and the 3,000 gold ingots. Oh, and the wood planks. We're also short the wood planks. Five new villagers born. I think the games are very quickly trying to get me to that magical 200 population number. The next question is how is we're going to get the 3,000 gold. That's an entirely different problem. Knowledge generated. So that we can pick up the disease resistance. Well, apparently I got enough invested. I can start to pick up some stuff deeper in the tree. Like durability for tools would be real good. You know, I may need to look into doing that. Reduced upkeep would also be good. Okay, so we definitely want more knowledge. Eight people in a move. We got the space for them, so we'll accept them. Two children are grown up. That's providing with more workers. That's good. I'm definitely at the point where I think it's time to start up that gold mine. It's one way to get more currency flowing in for that upgrade. Yeah, we got plenty of lumber selected for harvest. Maybe we don't have enough stone. Although we've got some pretty decent stone deposits if I need to get more stone selected. I suppose it's flush in the statistics. So we can definitely see our population has been going up. We had the mistake. That was before a mistake. That was after the mistake. So you can see the population decline there. But otherwise, we've been pretty steadily raising the population. Less and less of our stuff apparently has been spoiling over the last... Well, the last year hasn't seen very much spoilage. We've actually been keeping the spoilage apparently fairly low. Spoilage being worse. In agriculture, at least. Oh, we got the spoil... Okay, so... That must be spoilage in agriculture? Because that doesn't make sense with comparison to this numbers where we've got like, yeah, this just 2,000 vegetables rotted because you didn't feed them to people quickly enough, which is half the vegetables. Half the vegetables, half the fruit. The protein lasts long enough that the protein mostly gets eaten. Because it's mostly getting smoked, right? Food per farmer, 155. Food per farm area is actually up. It's around 40. And that reminds me, it's time, before we get into a problem, to move the goats. So the goats were there. The goats need to move. Else the goats will eat the crops. And not the clover. I'd rather them eat the clover. The child has grown up. We got housing for 223 people, in the process of bringing it up to 224, which I think is pretty good for where we are at the game, which is basically tier 2 stuff. Tier 2 going on tier 3 stuff. A little low on wood. That'll probably fix come spring. So the things it's telling me that we could do to improve happiness is you could improve the clothes, you could improve the luxuries, you could supply beer. And yeah, if we wanted to go up to the next tier we're going to need to supply pots, we're going to need to supply candles. And yeah, for the town hall here, we need 3 more people, which we'll almost certainly get in the process of trying to figure out how to get 3,000 gold ingots and 2,000 planks or 200 planks, 200 clay to be sitting around at the same time. Can be upgraded, but at this point I need to actually resist the urge to upgrade because I need that material for something else. Yeah, so labor is definitely improving. That's tools, 41%. Okay. We're definitely making tools, at least at the rate that we're losing them. New traveling merchant has arrived. 2 children have grown up. Oh dear. Doing a lot of coughing once I get the mic muted. Soldiers doing more damage would be good, but we're not going to afford that. Don't really got anything to sell you. If we had more soap in reserve, we'd probably be trying to sell soap. Same thing with the baskets. So there's one thing I could do to try to accelerate the research is I could assign more people to the academy. I think I've got enough of yeah, I got enough laborers at this point. I could probably accept the laborers that we lose 4 laborers here. So let's do that. We're up to 97 graduated villagers. Education is rising, the number of tools are rising. Let's see if we can try to get some of this soap sold before you leave. Now that it's been made, so we can sell it. Another merchant is arriving. Oh, I suppose I could sell the soap to the second merchant as well, so that's not too much of a rush job. We'll also move 14 pairs of shoes. 3 new villagers born. So we're now over 200 villagers. That's not going to be delayed or delivered before you leave. Of course, promptly gets delivered after they leave. Two children grown up. Okay, so more workers. And yeah, with all these guys assigned, we're 2 months to discover, which is probably pretty good. Let's grab advanced metal casting, which improves the durability for our equipment. So we'll have to replace it less often. And we'll probably pick the disease resistance next. And then maybe the yield after that. Oh, requires Tier 4 Town Center or 42 knowledge. Okay. That's why we're getting access to Tier 3 techs, is we've just got enough knowledge invested, that's not a problem. Yeah, we haven't hit Tier 3 when the town center yet. It's still more than half the village. The answer is the village is growing fast enough. The village is mostly made up of children and not adults, which I suppose is a good thing, but it's frustrating when you're like, I need more workers. You want more people to come work the mine, so we got more iron ore, and then I want more people to come work the foundry. It looks like we got more of a coal problem than a iron ore problem. Okay, so it's probably going to be expanding the coal production first. So we need clay, I need gold, I need planks. Because we're not actually spending clay on very much, the clay is probably one that's going to get done first of the 3 here. 5 new villagers born. Okay. More workers, that's good. 22 laborers, it's like, oh, you should have even more laborers. No, 22 is more than enough. In fact, I think 20 is more than enough. So we're going to put some more on coal mining. Because we've got an industry shut down because of a shortage of, I think, coal. Yeah, I think they're stocking so they can get the iron and or the gold made, so we need the coal. And then that's easy enough to solve once you've got the iron ore. And sadly, I don't think we found... Yeah, we haven't found a quarry site yet. Which both means it's not very close, which is annoying, and we have to find it, of course. We want infinite stone. And they've just finished excavating the relic down there. Okay. All villagers have 25% more health if we slot that in. And if it's versus the raiders and wildlife more readily, yeah, we'll take the hit points. Oh, and it's definitely winter time, so it's definitely time to move the grazing area. Villagers need more tools, it complains again. We're at least sitting at 41% tools, so the tools are not getting... The tool situation is not getting worse. It's not getting better is the other problem. Villager cured. Okay. Four new villagers born. Continuing that trend of making sure we got more villagers that don't work than work. The building is on fire in the middle of a blizzard. This is probably actually the worst time to fight the fire. Although, they put it out pretty quickly, so maybe I'm just not being able to see them running around in the blizzard trying to fight the fire. Probably what was going on there. Child grown up, giving us another laborer. And now we got a point of knowledge. So I continue working on the disease resistance. I could also come over here. Got military logistics, which will lower the upkeep. Effectively, we can get 2 steps of that, so we lower the upkeep on the soldiers by 20%. Or do research speed at the academy. I should probably do research speed at the academy. Invest the research into getting more research, yeah. And I think that dropped the time to the next one from 7 months to 6 months, so it is notable. Okay, so I've got iron ore in stockpile, but I don't have any coal. It's definitely coal is the thing holding us back. In the year 18. On a couple of fronts, we are getting close to our goals. Yeah, we're only up at 1,000, but if we get a good trade come in, we can probably pick up like 1,000 or so in a single trade. Clay, we're 30 short. Planks, we're about 40 short, but planks are probably the things that's easiest to make when we've got 300 logs sitting in the inventory. War Village was born. And here's an example. I'm very happy to sell, granted, maybe not fully 400, I want to keep some around, but we could sell them like 350 herbs. Which, okay, he's not giving us a good price for them. They're 2 each to sell. But that's 700 gold there. Oh, lightning's giving us lots of fires. Of course, due to lots of wells, it's easy for just people to send up on the fire en masse and put it out. Another building on fire? It is, it probably got put out already because the thing disappeared real quick. Children growing up, providing us with more laborers, which is good. Trader number 2. Could sell him the iron ore. Could buy a bunch of tools from him. we'll end up dealing with that maybe post-invasion here. Let's try actually recruiting some troops to be a little bit more aggressive in our defense here. So you don't get any shields, but these guys can at least, the melee guys can at least hook themselves up with the leather armor and a sword. Okay, let's ring the bell.
Will do.
Don't burn the school down. Those fiends. Okay. Okay, they burnt the school down, which was annoying. Otherwise, I think we've managed to minimize the damage. They pillaged some smoked meat, some smoked fish, and burnt my school down. And as I said, the fiends decided the one thing they were going to destroy in the town was, in fact, the school. Okay, well now if I want to keep these troops, I should probably do something with them, right? I can go down and deal with that, raider camp, or go north and deal with the raiding camp north.
Right away! It will be done!
Okay, dealt with one of them. Well, this guy's kill at the barracks, then we'll go after the other one. And then we'll probably disband some of them. There's nothing pending to attack. They're a little expensive just to keep around. But we do have a point of knowledge, which should get spent. In this case, we're going to spend it on getting more knowledge. So we lost one of the melee guys. It is what it is. Apparently we made money last month, but that was probably because we managed to sort of mint some more money. Not because we actually made more in Texas. A villager has died. A villager has been cured. Villager needs more tools. Yes, the village needs more tools. That's kind of the state of the village at the moment. Oh, and we managed to loot some shields, so the swordsmen aren't going to perform better than they were before. At least a few that have shields. Okay, so they've gone and mostly recovered. Let's take the troop and begin preparations for attacking the last place. Well, the last place we know of. Oh, there's another lake.
At once.
Another one bites the dust.
At once.
Gonna have to do some exploring while we look for a quarry site. And we're finding more raiders, honestly, at this point. Oh, and we got another knowledge point, so let's spend that probably on lowering the military upkeep. Right this moment. We found some treasure. It's reasonably unguarded by our terms. some potentially good fishing sites. It's not a quarry, but... Okay, so there's a deep stone deposit. So that's the place where we can get limitless stone from as long as we're patient. And or throw a lot of workers at the problem. Some more iron ore. Some deep deposits. Some more iron ore. Some more gold ore. Some salvage. Oh, 2 quarries up here. Although maybe a little close to... The second one's definitely a little close to some walls. Oh, 3 quarries up here. So plenty of stone once we get to quarries. Don't know if the troops suffer from any cold damage related stuff. Between the losses and us reducing the upkeep cost on them, we are at the point where they basically don't have a cost above and beyond what we can pay with the tax revenue. Which definitely lowers the need to get rid of them anytime soon. Or salvage. Again, think on a vector from the base that would be safe to just send people out to get. So I'm going to hit salvage on it so we can... If our laborers find time to actually do the salvaging, that'll be salvaged at some point. Okay, there's more iron up on this hill. Deep iron deposit. Deep gold, some more iron. Okay, so we might want to clear the wolves out here. And maybe the boar there, if we need iron desperately. Or at least assign a lot of hunters to the area to suppress the wolves. And we've got another knowledge point, so let's spend that getting the troops even cheaper to keep up. Then we should probably grab these next. More stuff coming out of the mines. Well, stuff coming out of the mines quicker. And work reductions for gold and iron production. Probably pretty good. And to be fair, we're somewhat running on the quarry, which I think needs both of those. toggling on all the mines, both shallow and deep there. You can see where all the mines are. On all the descriptors, right? So you haven't found any more bandit camps, which is good. This new information, we probably definitely get a bunch more hunting going, I think. Well, that's a nice little fishing pond. Some more reasonably safe salvage. Yeah. Villagers need more tools. Rewarding again, reminding me like, hey, you might wanna have those tool production expanded. It's like, yeah, I do. We got a new trader in. He'll buy my tools that I should really be producing for myself. Yeah. 24 trade or 24 of those and 40 of those. We'll sell to the trader. I think we're just going to sell it to the trader because, well, I might actually buy a little bit of clay because the clay's not filling up as quickly as I was expecting. Crop. Oh, I forgot to move the animals. Whoops. Supposed to be in the next field. Sadly, you can't do animal rotation just like you do crop rotation. Otherwise, I'd be totally on doing that. More villagers being born. That's good. Although if they could skip the part in the middle where they don't work, that would be even better. Oop, no, don't do that. So there's a bandit camp there, and it's pretty well defended. So we're not going to loot the pile of loot right next to it, because that sounds like a good way to lose a bunch of people. Okay, let's send these guys back to the base to recover. So we salvaged the place, which did actually give us a tome of knowledge. Make the mine better, please. Yeah, I think I'm going to save myself a little bit of time. We are going to go ahead and buy just enough clay to get up to 200 or 200 clay. And the rest of this is transferred to the stockpile. We're getting real close to getting everything stockpiled for that tier upgrade. Although it is very tempting to buy tools to try to solve the tool problem. What is the goat herd up to? We got 2 goats. Well, we've got 2 goats. They're making milk. People are drinking milk. No, there's only 2 of them. I was hoping we'd be a little bit more growth. In theory, we're now at the point where the birth rate's averaging 1 a year, so in theory that might grow. Actually start growing. 126 are graduated, okay. So that's why we got like 69% in education. But while we still have a tool shortage. More people know how to do things with their brain than have tools to do that thing with. Are we actually down to 8 people? We are actually down to 8 of these soldiers. Okay. We're not 6 of these soldiers. I'm going to still do some more exploring with them. Well, I've got them out and about and I'm thinking about it. Well, I don't have them out and about, but I'm thinking about it, so let's do some exploration. That be the autosave. Again, right next to a well, so it shouldn't be that hard for them to put it out. Oop, there's another raiding camp. Some more salvaged goods, okay. Oh, and we have another point of knowledge. Let's get the ingot work faster. No, I wandered too close to that, apparently. Okay. I was trying to go around it, and apparently went a little too close. Although all 6 of them did survive, so that's fine. Getting attacked by a bear.
Right away.
Oh, we got another excavation site we can excavate. So we'll go ahead and set that designate that for excavation. If we got another good artifact, we could definitely turn on another artifact fairly easily. Hell, if we found any artifact that was good, we could turn it on fairly easily, because we've got an artifact that's like, oh yeah, villagers have 50% more health. Hopefully we're not reliant on that 50% health. The villagers hopefully should not be fighting. But, well, not after the Great Mistake. The Great Mistake has demonstrated to me that I should keep the villagers away from combat. So next... Well, actually, the next time we smelt up another 100 ingots worth of gold, we'll be able to do the town center upgrade. We're getting jumped by a barricade. We're getting jumped by a barricade, aren't we? Whoops. And that's a definitely... Other way, please. Okay, so we know where 3 bandit camps are at this point. And that one is kind of protecting this loot for our purposes, so we can't salvage that yet. Okay, the map isn't quite fully explored at this point, but we're starting to run to the point of to go to bits we haven't explored. The civilians to follow and take advantage of that work would have to go through a bandit camp, so I think it is time to get these guys back to their barracks. We're also at the point where we can toggle the upgrade, so let's get that upgrade going. I think we will finish this part out and this stream out with the town center being upgraded. We're definitely going to have to get the brickworkers going at the next tier when we get there. Okay, so they're here. We can tell them to go into their barracks. Impending blizzard. Okay, so I think that's going to slightly delay the construction of the towns under there. Okay, so all the clay's been delivered. And we've got the money to deliver. Just someone needs to do the delivering. Of course, there's the blizzard, so everyone's going to go running for shelter. Or, nope, someone I think is running with the money. There we go, the money did get dropped off. Now everyone's running for shelter, so the work to complete the building isn't being done. That will be probably solved very quickly after the blizzard is done, though. Three new villagers are born. So at this point, we've actually got the existing housing full. So I'm going to have to build new housing fairly soon. Probably building the next housing district will be what I'll do in the next stream. Comboed with a little bit of upgrading, right? So As we improve the desirability, these houses will start to upgrade. Although, before they'll upgrade, we actually need to get candles and pottery and stuff going. Which I think also increases their tax revenue. The delivery of the luxury goods. Guessing everyone's seeking shelter again. Yeah, they got cold enough they have to go seek shelter. Okay. Gained a knowledge. But I'm going to spend that on probably the metallurgy again. Although at some point we probably do want to work up to production management, which is through production logistics, for the heavy tool speed. Which I think also affects the ingot production, because that's a building that uses heavy tools. But with that, the town center is now level 3. We got a nice, beautiful level 3 town center. And I think getting level 3 also just gave us another knowledge point. Do I want the quarry? I think we can postpone the quarry a little bit. Yeah, let's pick up the production tools. And then we'll work into production management next. That's also going to be useful because we need to do pottery. We probably need to get linens going soon. Making those 20% efficient is going to be good. And we do firewood and syrup already. So yeah, I think that's where we're going to go ahead and end the stream. This is the state of the main town at this point. So we got one neighborhood basically built out. It's got a lot of upgrading to do. It's mostly tier 1. Or actually, at this point, it probably is mostly tier 2. It's mostly homesteads. It's got a little bit of building to get everything up to homesteads. Not everything is homestead. Some of the stuff around the exterior. So there's a couple here, a couple in here, a couple over there, so on. That are still technically shelters instead of homesteads. But yeah, we got a pretty good neighborhood going. We're going to probably build a second neighborhood because I think to hit to 500, we're going to need a second neighborhood. And yeah, I don't think we're not gonna fit 400 people in the first neighborhood, so we're gonna need a second neighborhood to get to 400 people. We're gonna have to build a theater. We're gonna have to upgrade the training center, and we need 30 houses to large house, which is the next housing level up. If you're watching on YouTube, assuming everything goes according to plan, there will be a part up for you tomorrow, because I'm gonna try to record more of this in another stream 4 days from now, and this being the 5th part of this stream, that gives me 1 extra day. So even if something goes wrong and ends up being recorded 5 days from now, decent possibility you'll get a part up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, we're going to be playing. Let me bring up the schedule so I don't forget what we're doing over the next couple days. That didn't. Well, that partially worked. Click back out. There we go. So, tomorrow we're going to be doing On stream, free call or free colonization. Free call is the abbreviated form of it. Free colonization, basically, is what we're going to be playing. This is the sort of the open source remake of Sid Meier's Colonization. That's what we're going to be playing on stream tomorrow. That is an open source game, so that is a game that if you want to get, you can get for free. You just Google free call. So if you want to get it and potentially play along as I am playing, feel free to do that. That's what we're going to be streaming tomorrow. I'm going to probably stream that at least 2 streams, whether that's ends up being 2 games or one long game. We'll see. Depends on how quickly I can play. It's not a particularly long game. It depends on how long you sit there thinking about your choices. So that's going to be tomorrow's stream. The day after that will be Endless Legends. We're going to try to do a run where we go aggressive instead of passive, instead of commerce-oriented. Haven't decided whether I'm going to be the cultist or the sort of... Oh, I'm forgetting the name of the bug civilization. The necrophage? I don't think it's they do cannibalism and stuff like that. So that will be the day after tomorrow. The day after tomorrow will be Terra Invicta as we continue our resistance run, slowly clearing the aliens out of the solar system. In the last stream, which if you're watching this on YouTube, should hopefully not be spoilers. It may be spoilers if you're watching this on Twitch. In the last stream, we did get the aliens off of the planet. So we're going to try to keep them that way as we clear them out of the solar system. And then the day after that, which should be Monday, the stream for Monday should be the continuation of Farthest Frontier here in 1.0 as we do a second stream in an attempt to continue to grow the city. So if we continue going at the same rate, there's a decent possibility we'll be around 500 by the end of the stream. Because I'm definitely playing faster than we did the 0.9. Not because I think 1.0 makes the game faster, but because I know what I'm doing, so I'm able to be running it at speed 3. There's still things we need to do that I need to do. Right, we've got a plan. We're going to stick to that plan. We're going to get the city bigger, better, and beautiful. And in fact, the city needs quite a bit of beautification, really, to get where we need it to be. Right, beautification-wise, we were only sitting around about 30%. We got a few more services that help a little bit with beautification, but otherwise, the rest of it's going to have to come from gardens, and more gardens. So we need to come in and be adding a lot more garden trails. We've got like 4, and that's meeting the requirements. And in fact, actually, because we put more beautification in since those, it's a little oversupplied in that location. But it's not meeting it enough to get it to tier 3, which is our next step. Is that 50? No, it's 60 for tier 3. Yeah, so we're definitely going to have to up the beautification quite a bit. So that's the plan. I hope you have all been enjoying. If you're watching on Twitch, this is your last chance to get comments responded to live. If you're watching on YouTube, feel free to leave a comment if you want to see something. I can always go ahead and load up the game and show you the thing. Although it obviously will be from the stream end. Because as you see now, I am saving right now. So this is Flutterdam stream 1. I didn't. This is the first hard save during this run. So if you wanted to see something from earlier and you want me to go click on something, I might not be able to do that, but I can do that now. So if you're watching later on YouTube and you want to see something from the game, and it would be only visible from this point, feel free to let me know. I'm not opposed to loading up the save and finding the thing, even though that would technically, I think by then we'll run the next run, the next part. So it'd be loading up an old save. But yeah, with that, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.